Good evening, everyone. You know, life has a funny way of shaping us, doesn't it? It teaches us that it's the people we meet along the way, especially those who make an indelible impact on our hearts, that truly define our journey. And among those people, there's one who stands out, a woman. A man always remembers a woman who has touched his life with more than just affection. She's the one who has shared her strength, her wisdom, and her courage in ways that leave a mark on his soul. It's not the surface level moments that stay with him, but the profound life-altering ones. She's the woman who has seen his weaknesses and still believed in his potential. She has stood beside him, not behind him, and reminded him that his dreams are worth chasing, even when he couldn't see it for himself. A woman who has a heart that believes in him, even when his own belief falters, stays in his memory forever. Her love is a love that builds, not breaks. It's a love that empowers, not restricts. And in the end, when the noise of the world fades away, it's her influence, her wisdom, and her love that echoes in his mind. So ladies, understand this: the power you hold isn't just in your beauty or your grace, though those are powerful. It's in your ability to inspire change in the hearts of those you touch. A man always remembers a woman who has given him something far more enduring than fleeting affection. He remembers a woman who has truly made him better. And that is something worth cherishing. Thank you. A man will never forget a woman who loves him without conditions, who accepts him for who he is, and encourages him to become who he can be. A woman who sees the best in him, even when he doesn't see it in himself, stays in his heart forever. She believes in his dreams and challenges him to pursue them. The woman who teaches him to rise after every fall, to find strength in adversity, and to keep going even when life seems uncertain. She leaves an everlasting imprint. The woman who is there when life gets hard, who provides support and comfort without judgment, and offers a safe space for healing, will always remain in his mind. The woman who loves with authenticity, whose emotions and actions are genuine, whose heart is open and sincere, leaves a lasting impact that goes beyond fleeting moments. A woman who listens deeply, understands his struggles, and offers compassion without judgment, teaches him the power of empathy in relationships. A man remembers the woman who shared meaningful experiences with him, who helped him create memories that will be cherished forever, whether through laughter, adventures, or intimate moments. Ultimately, a man will remember a woman who has touched his soul, who has influenced his way of thinking, his emotional growth, and the very person he becomes because of her presence in his life. A man always remembers a woman who has shown him unconditional love, because such love is a rare and transformative gift. In a world that often seems driven by conditions, expectations, and the transactional nature of many relationships, unconditional love stands out as a powerful force that transcends the ordinary. It is a love that doesn't ask for anything in return, nor does it hinge on the other person meeting certain criteria. It is a pure, unwavering love that gives freely, regardless of the circumstances. A man who has been the recipient of this kind of love will never forget the woman who offered it to him, for she has touched him in ways no one else could. Unconditional love is a love that accepts him as he is. It doesn't come with demands or conditions about how he should look, act, or perform. This is significant because often in relationships, people feel the pressure to live up to certain standards, whether it's physical appearance, social status, or even behavior. A woman who loves unconditionally sees beyond these superficial aspects. She doesn't love him for what he can give her, or for how he meets her expectations. She loves him for his core, for who he is in his most vulnerable and unguarded state. She sees his flaws, his imperfections, and his struggles, and yet she chooses to love him not in spite of them, but because of them. She understands that true love isn't about perfection, but about acceptance and understanding. This kind of love also provides a sense of security and stability. A man who receives unconditional love feels safe to be himself, safe to express his feelings, safe to share his dreams, fears, and even his shortcomings. When a woman shows him this love, she creates a space where he can drop the mask he wears for the world and simply exist as he is. There is no fear of judgment, no worry about being rejected for mistakes or for moments of weakness. It's a love that assures him that no matter what happens, whether he succeeds or fails, whether he is at his best or his worst, she will be there. This kind of emotional safety fosters an environment where he can grow, take risks, and evolve without the fear of losing her if he doesn't meet certain expectations. What makes unconditional love even more powerful is that it allows a man to experience the depth of emotional connection. In a world where people often feel emotionally distant from one another, the woman who loves unconditionally builds a bridge between two hearts. She gives him her heart completely without reservation, and in doing so, she invites him to do the same. This mutual exchange of love creates an emotional bond that is unlike any other. It's a bond that is not easily broken because it is built on the foundation of deep understanding and acceptance. The man remembers this connection as it becomes a reference point for all other relationships in his life. He knows deep down that this kind of love is rare, and he cherishes the memory of it forever. Additionally, unconditional love is transformative. When a woman loves a man unconditionally, she doesn't just accept him as he is, she encourages him to be better, to rise higher, and to pursue his dreams. It's not a love that keeps him stagnant or holds him back, it's a love that propels him forward. The woman who offers unconditional love supports him through challenges and is his biggest cheerleader when he tries something new. She believes in his potential even when he doesn't, and that belief becomes a source of strength for him. She doesn't push him to change to fit her image of what he should be. Instead, she encourages him to reach his full potential in whatever way feels true to him. This kind of love fuels personal growth, helping him to become the best version of himself, not because he wants to meet her expectations, but because her belief in him inspires him to be the best he can be. A woman who shows a man unconditional love also teaches him the meaning of true empathy. She listens without judgment, understands without criticism, and offers guidance without trying to control. She helps him see the world through a different lens, encouraging him to be more compassionate, not only toward others, but also toward himself. Her love allows him to heal from past wounds, whether they are emotional scars, past mistakes, or insecurities. In her presence, he feels seen and heard in a way that he might not have experienced before. This level of empathy and emotional connection is something that stays with him forever. A man always remembers a woman who has believed in his potential, because that belief is a gift that ignites something deep inside him, a spark of confidence, a drive to be better, and a sense of purpose that he might not have discovered on his own. When a woman sees his potential, even when he struggles to see it himself, she gives him more than just encouragement. She provides him with a vision of who he could become. This belief in his abilities has the power to shape his future, transforming his self-doubt into motivation and his uncertainty into action. It's easy for a man to get caught up in the pressures and challenges of life. The demands of work, family, or personal ambitions can cloud his vision, making him question whether his dreams are even achievable. In those moments of doubt, the woman who believes in him becomes his anchor. She doesn't just offer comforting words, she reminds him of what he is capable of achieving, even when he feels like giving up. She doesn't need to see the finished product of his efforts to believe in him. She believes in the process, in his ability to overcome obstacles, and in the person he is becoming, not just the person he is today. This belief is transformative because it speaks to his deepest fears and insecurities, and it addresses them directly. Many men carry the weight of not feeling good enough in various areas of their lives. They may question their worth in their relationships, their careers, or their ability to contribute to the world in meaningful ways. The woman who believes in his potential gives him a mirror in which he can finally see his value, his strengths, and his worth. She doesn't just focus on his accomplishments, she sees the heart and the mind behind those accomplishments. She sees his resilience, his creativity, his intelligence, and his capacity for growth. By focusing on these qualities, she helps him see himself through her eyes that hold a deep, unwavering faith in who he is and who he can become. Her belief doesn't just stay in words, it is reflected in her actions. She supports him in tangible ways, offering advice when needed, stepping in when he's overwhelmed, and cheering him on when he feels discouraged. She encourages him to step outside his comfort zone, knowing that growth lies on the other side of fear. This active support reinforces her belief in him, turning it from an abstract concept into a concrete, actionable force. Her belief in his potential doesn't just motivate him to keep going, it motivates him to push further than he ever thought possible. She becomes his greatest advocate, reminding him of his value and pushing him to chase his dreams, even when those dreams seem distant or unattainable. The woman who believes in a man's potential also helps him see the value in the work he is doing, even when the results don't come as quickly or as easily as he hoped. She knows that success is not always immediate, but that the effort, the persistence, and the dedication are just as important as the end result. She nurtures his growth by recognizing his progress, no matter how small it might seem. Her support helps him remain patient, focused, and committed to his goals, even when instant gratification is hard to come by. Through her belief in him, he learns the importance of perseverance and self-discipline lessons that will stay with him for a lifetime. Her belief in his potential also helps him see his own worth in relationships. It shows him that he is capable of giving and receiving love in ways that are healthy, supportive, and fulfilling. This belief builds his confidence not just in his career or personal goals, but also in his ability to be a good partner, friend, and person in the world. She believes in his ability to love deeply, to connect meaningfully, and to show up for others. This belief, in turn, helps him show up for himself and for the people he cares about, knowing that he is worthy of love and respect. A man always remembers a woman who has believed in his potential because her belief becomes a part of him. It stays with him long after the moments of doubt have passed, echoing in the choices he makes, the risks he takes, and the ways he grows into the person he was always meant to be. It is a gift that shapes his life in ways that are immeasurable. When a woman believes in him, she not only helps him realize his potential, but she becomes an integral part of the journey toward achieving it. Another vital aspect of resilience that a woman teaches him is emotional strength. Life is filled with emotional highs and lows, and navigating those emotions with balance and clarity is essential to building resilience. She shows him that it's okay to feel sadness, frustration, or anger, but it's how he manages those emotions that matters. She encourages him to process his emotions in a healthy way, to not suppress or deny what he's feeling, but to face it head on. By offering her support and understanding, she teaches him that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a strength. She shows him that it's okay to lean on others, to seek help, and to ask for support when needed. Her emotional intelligence and her ability to hold space for his emotions teach him how to cope with his own emotions in a more constructive and compassionate way. A man always remembers a woman who has lifted him up in his darkest times, because the support she offers during these moments becomes a lifeline, a beacon of hope when the world around him feels overwhelming. Life is full of challenges, and in those moments of despair, when he feels as though he's lost his way, the woman who stands by him, providing encouragement and love, becomes the force that helps him find his strength again. When all seems lost, her presence offers a reminder that there is still light to be found, even in the most shadowed corners of his life. Her support is more than just words. It is the kind of emotional strength that she offers when he feels the most vulnerable. She doesn't push him to snap out of it or tell him to simply think positive. Instead, she meets him where he is. She gives him the space to express his pain, his fears, and his doubts. She creates a safe environment where he can be honest about his emotions without fear of rejection or criticism. Her acceptance of his darkest thoughts allows him to release some of the weight he's carrying. Through her compassion, she shows him that it's okay to not have it all figured out, that it's okay to be hurting, and that taking the time to heal is important. Her encouragement is not always grand gestures or dramatic speeches. Sometimes it's the quiet support that makes all the difference. She may send him a text to check in, offer a word of encouragement when he least expects it, or simply sit beside him when words fail. The consistency of her support, no matter how small, reassures him that he is not alone in his struggle. In these moments, the simple act of knowing she's there, offering her unwavering presence, provides him with a sense of security. It becomes a reminder that even though life may be tough, he doesn't have to face it alone. In moments of deep despair, when the future feels uncertain and hope feels distant, the woman who lifts him up helps him reconnect with his inner strength. She may gently remind him of the passions that drive him, the dreams that once fueled him, or the reasons he fought so hard to get where he is. Through her encouragement, he is able to tap into his reserves of strength that he may have forgotten were there. She believes in him when he cannot believe in himself, which gives him the courage to keep fighting, even when the fight seems too difficult. She challenges him in the most constructive and loving way. It's not about criticism or judgment, but about offering a perspective that encourages him to reflect on his choices and actions. She asks the hard questions, questions that make him reconsider his habits, attitudes, and behaviors. She does not allow him to remain stagnant, comfortable in the excuses or justifications he may make for not improving. Her challenge is subtle but powerful. It forces him to think beyond his limitations and examine whether his actions align with the person he wants to become. Her ability to offer this challenge without making him feel inadequate is one of the reasons her impact is so profound. She challenges him not out of a desire to change him, but out of a belief that he can reach greater heights. At times, her challenge may come through tough love. She is not afraid to tell him when he is not living up to his potential. She sees when he is slacking or when he is too comfortable in his routine, and she refuses to let him stay there. She knows that growth comes from discomfort, and she pushes him to embrace the discomfort of change. Her ability to be honest with him, even when the truth is hard to hear, is what makes her such a transformative influence in his life. She doesn't shield him from the reality of his shortcomings, but she offers the guidance and support he needs to overcome them. Through her words, she encourages him to face his flaws head-on and take responsibility for the areas of his life where he can improve. The woman who loves with authenticity also shows him how to love authentically in return. Through her example, he learns that love is not about grand gestures or dramatic declarations, but about the quiet, everyday acts of kindness, care, and understanding. It's about being there when it matters, listening when it counts, and offering support when it's needed most. Her love teaches him that small, meaningful moments are just as powerful as the big ones. She knows that love is shown in actions, not just words, and she expresses it through her consistency, attentiveness, and care. Her authenticity and love challenges him to cultivate these same qualities, helping him build a deeper, more genuine connection with her and others in his life. Her love with authenticity also teaches him the importance of being emotionally present. She doesn't offer empty promises or platitudes when times are tough. Instead, she shows up fully emotionally and mentally. She is there, not just in the good times, but also in the difficult moments when it's easy to withdraw or disconnect. Her presence becomes a source of strength, showing him that true love is not about avoiding pain, but facing it together. She is open and available, not just physically, but emotionally as well. This emotional availability fosters a connection that transcends superficial interactions, creating a bond that is rooted in mutual understanding and trust. But it wasn't just the big moments that mattered. Her empathy showed in the small, everyday interactions, the way she listened carefully to his words, the way she noticed the unspoken signs of distress in his body language, the way she held space for him when he didn't have the words to explain himself. She could sense when he was withdrawing, even when he tried to hide his feelings behind a facade of strength. It was in these quiet moments that her empathy shone most brightly. She didn't wait for him to ask for help. She intuitively reached out, offering comfort in ways that were both subtle and powerful. Whether it was a reassuring touch, a gentle word, or simply her presence, she made him feel that someone truly cared about what he was going through. Her compassion wasn't just about emotional support, it also extended to tangible acts of care. She took the time to ensure that his needs were met, whether that meant helping him manage stress, taking on tasks to lighten his load, or simply offering a comforting presence. Her empathy was active, not passive. It drove her to take action when he needed it most. She could sense when he was overwhelmed and offer her help without him even having to ask. In these moments, her love became a balm, soothing his worries and helping him find balance. Her small acts of kindness made his burden feel lighter, even if just for a moment. The woman who showed him compassion and empathy not only made him feel loved, but also made him feel human. She reminded him that it was okay to be imperfect, to feel vulnerable, and to ask for help. Through her understanding and care, he learned that true strength lies not in perfection, but in embracing one's humanity and allowing others to support us through life's ups and downs. Her love, grounded in empathy and compassion, was a gift that kept on giving, allowing him to become more emotionally aware, resilient, and connected to the people who mattered most. And through her, he learned that compassion was not just a gift, it was a way of life, a way to love more deeply and more truly than he ever thought possible. Man always remembers a woman who created lasting memories together because those shared moments become a foundation for the bond they built. It's in the experiences they crafted together, whether big adventures or small, seemingly insignificant gestures, that the essence of their relationship is captured. These memories are more than just snapshots in time. They are reflections of their connection, their laughter, their growth, and their love. Every memory they made together etched a unique mark on his heart, an imprint that remains long after the moment has passed. Traveling together was an adventure that he would always remember. It wasn't just about the destinations or the things they saw, but about the way they experienced those places side by side. Whether they were navigating unfamiliar streets or enjoying a sunset at the beach, the memories they created in these places were filled with laughter, shared excitement, and the thrill of discovery. They were not just tourists in a new place, but partners in an adventure, experiencing the world together in a way that was intimate and personal. The trips they took became symbolic of the journey they were on together, of exploring life's opportunities and challenges as a team, hand in hand. The memories they created, she also helped him grow. They learned together, supported each other's ambitions, and celebrated each other's victories. They challenged each other to be better, to push beyond their limits, and to strive for more. Whether it was taking on a new challenge, facing fears, or encouraging each other to pursue passions, the experiences they shared were opportunities for growth. Each memory was a building block in the person he became, shaped not just by the love they shared, but by the way they inspired and motivated each other. The lessons they learned together in the process made their memories not just personal, but transformative. What made these memories even more lasting was the way they reinforced the emotional connection between them. Every shared experience, every laugh, every tear, and every moment of silence deepened their bond. Their relationship became a collection of moments that told the story of who they were together, of how they had supported, loved, and challenged each other. Those memories were more than just experiences. They were a record of the connection they had built, a deep, unwavering understanding of each other that was captured in every shared glance, every touch, and every word exchanged. These memories, layered with emotion and significance, became treasures he would hold onto forever. As time passed, the memories they created continued to resonate in his life. Even in her absence, they lived on in the things he did, the values they shared, and the way he approached life. She had left an indelible mark on his heart, one that would never fade, because of the memories they made together. These memories had shaped his life, his perspective on love, and his understanding of what it meant to truly connect with someone. They became a constant source of reflection, a reminder of the love they shared, and a source of strength whenever he needed it. And through it all, he would always remember the woman who had created these lasting memories with him, shaping his heart and soul in ways that would endure for a lifetime. Her actions, however small, had an enormous effect on him. She may not have known it at the time, but each thoughtful gesture, each word of encouragement, each quiet act of kindness left a profound imprint on his soul. Whether it was a simple smile when he was feeling down or a piece of advice when he was struggling to make a decision, she left traces of herself in everything she did. These acts, though small in their individual moments, collectively formed a larger pattern of care, attention, and consideration that shaped his view of love and relationships. She showed him what it meant to truly invest in someone, to give without expecting anything in return, and to show up consistently for the people who mattered. In doing so, she shaped his expectations for how love should feel constant, nurturing, and deeply supportive. She also had an incredible strength that he admired deeply. The way she handled adversity with grace and resilience showed him a new way to face life's challenges. Her ability to stand firm in her beliefs, even when the world was against her, inspired him to be stronger, to dig deeper, and to approach challenges with a greater sense of courage. Watching her navigate life's difficulties with such poise taught him the value of persistence, the importance of standing up for what's right, and the strength that can be found within oneself. Her strength became a quiet source of inspiration that lingered in his soul, reminding him to approach his own challenges with the same resolve. Even after time passed, the imprint she left continued to influence the man he became. Her lessons, her love, her wisdom, these things remained with him, etched into his memory, guiding his decisions and interactions. Her impact was woven into the very core of who he was, shaping his values, his relationships, and his approach to life. She had left a permanent mark on his soul, one that could never be erased, no matter how much time passed or how many other people came into his life. The imprint she left was a part of him, a part that would always remember her and the indelible effect she had on his life.